After the age of 60, many people quietly accept discomfort as a normal part of life. Tingling in the feet, numb fingers, burning sensations, weakness, or loss of balance slowly become part of the daily routine. Doctors may call it nerve damage, neuropathy, or age-related decline, but I want you to hear something very important today. Your body is not broken. Your nerves are not hopeless. And even after 60, your body still has an incredible ability to heal, repair, and respond when you give it the right support. I have seen time and time again how one specific vitamin, combined with the right lifestyle habits, has helped awaken nerve function in ways people thought were no longer possible, sometimes noticing meaningful changes in as little as 2 weeks. This is not magic, and it is not about chasing a miracle pill. It is about understanding how the body works and giving it what it has quietly been asking for. Nerves are living tissue. They require nourishment, oxygen, movement, and calm signals from the brain. One of the most common reasons nerve function declines as we age is not simply aging itself, but deficiency. Years of poor absorption, medications, stress, inflammation, and lack of movement slowly drain the nutrients nerves depend on to communicate properly. One vitamin stands out again and again when it comes to nerve health, especially after 60, and that is vitamin B12. This vitamin plays a critical role in protecting the nerve covering, supporting nerve signaling, and maintaining balance, strength, and sensation. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 from food drops significantly. Even people who eat well can become deficient without realizing it. Low B12 levels can show up as numbness, pins and needles, burning feet, fatigue, memory fog, mood changes, and weakness. When B12 is restored, the nervous system often responds faster than people expect, not because it is being forced, but because it is finally being fed. Now, I want to be very clear and honest with you. No vitamin reverses nerve damage overnight, and no single nutrient works alone. But when B12 deficiency is part of the problem, restoring it can help nerves calm down, regenerate, and reconnect. Many older adults begin to notice subtle improvements first. Sleep improves. The burning becomes less intense. Balance feels steadier. Energy returns. These small wins matter because they tell you the body is responding. But vitamins work best when they are supported by how you live your life. Nerve healing does not happen in a stressed, inflamed, motionless body. It happens in a body that feels safe, nourished, and gently challenged. This is where diet becomes your daily medicine. Focus on whole foods that reduce inflammation and stabilize blood sugar. Colorful vegetables, healthy fats like olive oil and nuts, clean proteins, and foods rich in natural B vitamins such as eggs, fish, and leafy greens all help create an environment where nerves can repair instead of deteriorate. Reducing sugar and highly processed foods is especially important because unstable blood sugar is one of the fastest ways to irritate and damage nerves over time. Movement is another key that many people underestimate, especially if they are dealing with pain or numbness. You do not need intense exercise. In fact, gentle, consistent movement is far more powerful. Walking, light stretching, slow balance exercises, and simple strength movements increase blood flow to the nerves and brain. Blood carries oxygen and nutrients, and without movement, nerves are left starving. Even 5 to 10 minutes a few times a day can send a powerful signal to your nervous system that it is time to wake up and reconnect. Lifestyle habits matter more than most people realize. Sleep is not optional when it comes to nerve repair. Deep sleep is when the nervous system resets, inflammation lowers, and healing chemicals are released. Creating a calm nighttime routine, limiting screens, and breathing slowly before bed can make a real difference. Hydration also matters. Dehydrated nerves become irritable nerves. Drinking enough water supports circulation and electrical signaling throughout the body. And then there is the mindset, which may be the most underestimated healing tool of all. Many older adults unknowingly program their nervous system for decline by repeating thoughts like, "This is just old age," or "Nothing can help anymore." Your brain listens to those messages. The nervous system tightens, stress hormones rise, and healing slows. When you shift your mindset to curiosity and possibility, even gently, the nervous system responds. Hope is not denial. Hope is a biological signal that tells your body it is safe to repair. I encourage you to speak kindly to your body. Thank it for carrying you this far. Celebrate small improvements instead of focusing on what is not perfect yet. Healing is rarely dramatic. It is quiet, gradual, and deeply personal. One day you notice you walked a little farther. Another day you slept through the night. These moments add up. If you are considering vitamin B12, it is wise to speak with your healthcare provider, especially if you are on medications or managing chronic conditions. Some people benefit from sublingual forms or injections when absorption is low. The goal is not excess but balance. When the body receives what it needs, it often does the rest. After the age of 60, many people begin to notice changes in their body that feel confusing and sometimes frightening, especially when it comes to nerve discomfort, numbness, tingling, burning sensations, or weakness. And the most common belief is that this is simply what aging looks like and that nothing can be done. But the truth is far more hopeful, because in most cases these symptoms are not caused by age alone, but by years of small deficiencies, lifestyle stress, inflammation, poor circulation, and reduced nutrient absorption that slowly affect how the nervous system functions. And when these underlying factors are addressed, the body often responds in powerful ways even later in life. Nerves are living tissue, and like all living tissue, they depend on oxygen, minerals, vitamins, movement, and calm signals from the brain to stay healthy. And when any of these elements are missing for long periods of time, nerve communication weakens and symptoms appear. Many older adults unknowingly live with vitamin deficiencies because the digestive system becomes less efficient with age, and certain medications further block absorption. So even a person who eats reasonably well may still be undernourishing their nervous system without realizing it. This is why labeling nerve problems as unavoidable aging can be so misleading and discouraging, because it removes responsibility and hope at the same time. The body is incredibly adaptive and is always trying to restore balance when given the chance. And this is especially true for the nervous system, which has the ability to reroute signals and strengthen existing pathways when conditions improve. Lifestyle also plays a major role, because years of high stress, poor sleep, lack of movement, and excess sugar quietly damage nerves by increasing inflammation and reducing blood flow. But the moment these patterns begin to change, the body notices immediately. Circulation improves, inflammation calms, and nerve tissue receives better nourishment. Even small improvements repeated daily can create meaningful changes over time. It is important to understand that healing does not require perfection or extreme measures. It begins with awareness and consistency. When an older adult realizes that discomfort is not a life sentence but a signal, their relationship with their body shifts. Instead of fear, there is curiosity. Instead of resignation, there is participation. And this mental shift alone reduces stress hormones that directly affect nerve sensitivity. The idea that nothing can improve after 60 is one of the most damaging myths in health, because belief shapes behavior and behavior shapes biology. When you believe improvement is possible, you eat better, move more, sleep deeper, and care for yourself differently. And those choices send powerful messages to the nervous system that it is safe to repair and adapt. Aging does change the body, but it does not shut down its intelligence or its ability to respond. Nerve discomfort is often a request for attention rather than a final verdict. And when you begin to listen instead of surrender, the body often meets you halfway. Vitamin B12 is one of the most overlooked yet essential nutrients for nerve health, especially after the age of 60, because it plays a direct role in protecting the nerve covering, supporting electrical signaling, and maintaining balance, coordination, memory, and energy. And when levels drop, the nervous system is often the first to suffer. Many older adults are deficient in B12 without knowing it, because the ability to absorb this vitamin from food naturally declines with age due to reduced stomach acid, digestive changes, and long-term use of common medications. And this deficiency can develop slowly over years, quietly affecting the body before clear symptoms appear: tingling in the hands and feet, numbness, burning sensations, weakness, fatigue, mood changes, brain fog, and even balance problems are often early warning signs that the nervous system is struggling due to insufficient B12. What makes this especially important is that these symptoms are frequently mistaken for normal aging or unrelated conditions, allowing the deficiency to continue unchecked. B12 is crucial for maintaining the myelin sheath, which acts as insulation around nerves, and without enough of it, nerve signals become weak, delayed, or misfired, leading to discomfort and loss of function. When B12 levels are restored, the nervous system often responds because it finally has the raw material it needs to repair and stabilize communication. Many people notice subtle changes first, such as improved energy, clearer thinking, better sleep, or reduced intensity of nerve sensations. And these early improvements are signs that the nervous system is becoming better nourished and less stressed. It is important to understand that B12 does not act like a painkiller that masks symptoms. Instead, it supports the underlying structure of the nerves, which allows healing to occur naturally over time. Absorption is a key factor because some individuals require different forms, such as sublingual tablets or injections, to achieve adequate levels, especially if digestive absorption is impaired. This is why guidance from a healthcare provider is important, not to create fear, but to ensure balance and safety. B12 works best as part of a broader lifestyle that includes proper nutrition, movement, hydration, and stress management because nerves do not heal in isolation but as part of the entire system. Restoring B12 levels is often like turning the lights back on in a room that has slowly gone dim. It does not instantly fix everything, but it allows the nervous system to see, respond, and adapt again. And this renewed support can make a meaningful difference in quality of life even later in life. When vitamin B12 deficiency is part of the reason behind nerve discomfort, the body often responds sooner than many people expect once levels are restored. Not because healing is rushed, but because the nervous system finally receives the support it has been missing for a long time. And this response usually begins with subtle shifts rather than dramatic changes. Many older adults first notice that their sleep becomes deeper and more refreshing because irritated nerves and an overactive nervous system begin to calm. Others feel a gentle return of energy during the day or a clearer sense of focus as nerve signaling in the brain improves. These early changes are important because they signal that the body is moving in the right direction. Nerve sensations such as tingling, burning, or numbness may start to feel less intense or less frequent. Balance can feel steadier and walking may require less effort, and while these improvements may seem small, at first they represent meaningful progress at a cellular level. The nervous system heals gradually by strengthening existing connections and stabilizing damaged ones, and when B12 is available, the process can begin without resistance. Many people are surprised to notice changes within a few weeks because nerves are highly active tissue and respond quickly when conditions improve, especially when deficiency has been present. It is important to understand that these improvements are not guaranteed for everyone, and they do not follow a fixed timeline, but consistency plays a powerful role. Taking the vitamin regularly as advised and supporting it with healthy habits allows the nervous system to continue adapting over time. Early improvements often create motivation, which is itself therapeutic because hope reduces stress hormones that irritate nerves. This creates a positive feedback loop where the body feels safer and more supported, and healing becomes more efficient. Patience is essential because nerve regeneration is not linear, and some days will feel better than others. But this does not mean progress has stopped. It simply reflects the complexity of the nervous system. When older adults learn to measure progress by trends rather than perfection, they are more likely to stay consistent and see long-term benefits. The most important message is that early signs of improvement are signals, not promises. Signals that the body is responding and that continued care can lead to further gains in comfort, stability, and confidence in daily life. Nerve healing does not happen in isolation, and no single vitamin or supplement can overcome the effects of chronic inflammation, unstable blood sugar, or poor nourishment, which is why diet plays such a powerful role in supporting nerve repair, especially after the age of 60. The foods you eat every day send chemical messages throughout your body, either calming the nervous system or irritating it. And when the diet is high in refined sugar, processed carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats, nerves become inflamed more easily, and blood sugar spikes damage delicate nerve endings over time. This is particularly important for older adults because the body becomes less resilient to these fluctuations with age. An anti-inflammatory, nutrient-dense diet creates an internal environment where nerves can finally rest and recover. Whole foods such as vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, healthy oils, and clean proteins provide the vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants nerves need to maintain their structure and function. Stable blood sugar is one of the most protective factors for nerve health because nerves rely on consistent energy rather than sudden surges and crashes. Eating balanced meals with fiber, protein, and healthy fat helps prevent the sharp spikes that quietly damage nerves and worsen symptoms like burning, tingling, and numbness. Hydration is also part of nutrition because dehydrated tissue becomes more sensitive and less efficient at conducting signals. When the body is well hydrated, circulation improves and nutrients reach the nervous system more effectively. Food is not just fuel but information, and when the body receives consistent nourishing signals, inflammation decreases, circulation improves, and nerve cells function more smoothly. This does not require perfection or strict rules, but awareness and repetition. Small changes such as reducing sugary snacks, choosing whole foods more often, and eating at regular times can significantly reduce nerve irritation over weeks and months. When diet supports healing, it also enhances the effectiveness of vitamins like B12, allowing them to be used more efficiently rather than wasted. Older adults often underestimate how quickly the nervous system responds to dietary changes because the relief is gradual and quiet rather than dramatic. But this steady improvement builds resilience and confidence over time. A supportive diet is not about restriction, but about giving the body what it needs to repair instead of what overwhelms it. And when nourishment becomes a daily habit, the nervous system begins to stabilize and function with greater ease and comfort. Gentle, consistent movement is one of the most powerful yet underestimated tools for nerve healing, especially after the age of 60, because nerves depend on blood flow, oxygen, and regular stimulation to stay healthy and responsive. When the body remains still for long periods, circulation slows and nerves are left undernourished, which can increase numbness, stiffness, and discomfort. Many older adults avoid movement because they fear pain or worsening symptoms, but in reality, carefully chosen light activity often reduces nerve irritation rather than increases it. Simple actions like walking, stretching, slow balance exercises, and light strength movements encourage blood to flow into areas that may have been deprived for years. And this improved circulation delivers oxygen, nutrients, and healing compounds directly to nerve tissue. Movement also sends signals to the brain that the body is safe and capable, which helps calm the nervous system and reduce sensitivity. The goal is not intensity or exhaustion, but consistency and awareness. Even short periods of movement repeated throughout the day can be more beneficial than a single long session done occasionally. Gentle movement helps retrain communication between the brain and body, which is especially important when nerves have become sluggish or disconnected. Balance exercises are particularly valuable because they stimulate sensory nerves in the feet and legs while strengthening confidence and coordination. Stretching keeps muscles flexible, which reduces pressure on nerves and improves overall comfort. Light strength work supports joints and posture, which further protects nerve pathways from compression and strain. Movement also improves insulin sensitivity, which helps stabilize blood sugar, a key factor in preventing further nerve damage. It is important to listen to the body and move within a comfortable range because pain is not a requirement for progress. Consistency builds trust between you and your nervous system, and that trust allows healing to continue. Many people notice that regular gentle movement improves sleep, mood, and energy, which further supports nerve recovery. Over time, movement becomes less about exercise and more about communication, telling the body that it is still active, capable, and worth caring for. And when this message is repeated daily, the nervous system responds with greater stability, resilience, and comfort. Lifestyle habits such as sleep, hydration, and stress management quietly determine how well the nervous system can repair itself, especially after the age of 60, because nerves do most of their recovery work when the body feels safe, rested, and supported. Quality sleep is one of the most powerful healing tools available because during deep sleep, the brain reduces inflammation, repairs tissue, and resets nerve signaling. Yet many older adults struggle with sleep due to pain, worry, or irregular routines, which keeps the nervous system in a constant state of alertness. Creating a calm evening routine with dim lights, slower breathing, and limited screen exposure helps signal the brain that it is time to shift into repair mode. Hydration is equally important because nerves rely on proper fluid balance to transmit electrical signals efficiently, and when the body is dehydrated, nerve tissue becomes more sensitive and irritable. Even mild dehydration can worsen symptoms like tingling, burning, or cramping. Drinking water consistently throughout the day supports circulation and helps nutrients reach nerve cells more effectively. Stress management is often overlooked, but chronic stress directly irritates the nervous system by increasing cortisol and adrenaline, which heighten nerve sensitivity and slow healing. Learning to pause, breathe deeply, and release tension tells the nervous system that danger has passed and that repair can begin. Simple practices such as slow breathing, gentle stretching, quiet reflection, or time in nature can significantly reduce nerve reactivity over time. These habits do not need to be complicated or time-consuming to be effective because consistency matters more than intensity. When sleep improves, hydration is maintained, and stress is reduced, the nervous system becomes less defensive and more adaptable. Many people notice that pain feels less sharp, balance improves, and energy becomes more stable. These changes create a foundation that allows nutrients, movement, and positive mindset to work more effectively. Lifestyle habits are not separate from healing, but the environment in which healing either thrives or struggles. And when that environment becomes calm, nourished, and supportive, the nervous system gains the space it needs to stabilize, repair, and function more smoothly. A positive and hopeful mindset is one of the most powerful yet often overlooked tools for supporting nerve health, especially after the age of 60, because the nervous system is deeply influenced by thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. When older adults repeatedly tell themselves that pain, numbness, or weakness is just part of getting old, the brain interprets that message as a signal that the body is unsafe. Stress hormones like cortisol rise, and nerves become more sensitive. Inflammation increases and healing slows. On the other hand, when a person consciously cultivates curiosity, patience, and optimism, the nervous system receives the opposite signal, that it is safe to repair, adapt, and reconnect. Mindset shapes biology in very real ways because the brain and body communicate constantly. Thoughts trigger chemical responses, and those chemicals directly influence nerve function. Believing that improvement is possible motivates behaviors that reinforce healing, such as consistent movement, better nutrition, adequate sleep, and proper supplementation. Even small shifts in perspective can produce measurable changes. Noticing small improvements, celebrating progress, and acknowledging effort sends positive reinforcement to the nervous system, which reduces irritability, improves tolerance to sensations, and encourages the repair processes to continue. Older adults who adopt a mindset of possibility rather than fear often experience less pain, more energy, improved balance, and better sleep because the body is no longer trapped in a heightened stress state. Mindset also influences resilience, allowing people to persist through setbacks and continue daily habits that support nerve recovery. The language we use with ourselves matters greatly. Replacing thoughts like, "nothing can help me now," with "I am taking steps that support my nerves," creates a biological environment conducive to healing. Optimism does not deny reality or ignore discomfort. It simply aligns attention with solutions and empowers action. Social connections, gratitude practices, and positive visualization further reinforce this effect by releasing calming neurotransmitters that soothe the nervous system. When hope and self-belief are combined with proper nutrition, gentle exercise, hydration, and rest, the nervous system is able to function more smoothly and recover more efficiently. Adopting a positive mindset is not a single event, but a daily practice. Repeated thoughts shape the nervous system over weeks and months, gradually reducing hyperreactivity, improving sensation, and strengthening connections as the mind and body work together. Older adults often notice that discomfort becomes more manageable, confidence in movement returns, and overall quality of life improves. And this psychological support creates a foundation that allows all other healing strategies to work more effectively, proving that mindset is not just a mental tool but a biological one that directly influences how nerves respond, adapt, and repair over time. Meaningful nerve improvement after 60 is often gradual and subtle, and it is important for older adults to understand that healing rarely happens in dramatic leaps, but rather through consistent small actions repeated day after day. Progress is measured not by perfection but by trends and patterns. Noticing even minor improvements in energy, balance, sensation, or sleep indicates that the body is responding and adapting. Patience is essential because the nervous system repairs itself slowly, rebuilding pathways, strengthening connections, and stabilizing signaling over weeks and months rather than days. This gradual process can sometimes be discouraging if expectations are unrealistic, but every small improvement compounds over time. And when older adults focus on cumulative progress rather than single outcomes, they are more likely to maintain healthy habits. Consistency in nutrition, movement, hydration, sleep, supplementation, and mindset creates a supportive environment where nerves can continue to repair and adapt. Celebrating small victories such as walking a few extra steps, sleeping more soundly, or feeling less tingling provides motivation and reinforces the positive cycle of healing. Recognizing that healing is nonlinear also helps maintain commitment, because some days will feel more challenging than others, and this does not mean that improvement has stopped. Nerves are complex living tissue that respond to patterns of care over time. Integrating all aspects of health, diet, exercise, lifestyle, mindset, ensures that the nervous system has the resources, oxygen, nutrients, and calm it needs to function optimally. Older adults often underestimate how quickly small, consistent actions can create significant changes. As the body responds, confidence and independence increase, which further motivates continued care. Nerve improvement is not about reaching an arbitrary endpoint, but about creating a life with greater comfort, mobility, and energy. Understanding this encourages a patient, compassionate approach to self-care and reduces the anxiety and frustration that can slow progress. Small, consistent choices like preparing nourishing meals, taking short walks, practicing gentle stretches, sleeping adequately, managing stress, and maintaining a positive outlook all add up to meaningful improvements in nerve function. And over time, these repeated actions become habits that support ongoing repair and resilience. The nervous system remembers these supportive patterns, reinforcing proper signaling and coordination. Older adults often notice that the combined effect of multiple small habits is far greater than any single intervention, and this holistic approach fosters a sustainable path to better function, comfort, and quality of life, proving that age does not eliminate the body's capacity to heal or adapt, and that meaningful nerve improvement is the result of patience, consistency, and an integrated approach that honors the complexity and intelligence of the human body. Remember this above all else. Age does not cancel your ability to improve. Your nervous system is not done learning, adapting, and repairing. Every healthy meal, every gentle walk, every deep breath, and every positive thought is a message to your body that you are still invested in your health. And when you combine the right nutrients with supportive habits and a hopeful mindset, change becomes possible even after 60. Your body has been listening to you your entire life. Starting today, listen back.